Hey everyone. Um, if you're still on my channel, you'll probably notice that the few videos that I had posted were deleted. Um, I did this for a number of reasons. Um, a lot of those videos were done years ago when I was very much a different person. And well, first off, I'm not that guy anymore. I mean, yeah, they were funny, and they were all just kind of a goof, and we were just having fun. Um, but that also goes to, it was originally called Gil's Life Tips, and I've decided that I don't want to be that person anymore. Um, my legal name, Gil being part of it. My first name being Gilpatrick, and I won't give my last name for personal reasons and for my family's sake. But I had a falling out with them for numerous reasons, which I won't go into because I'm not one of those people to really air my dirty laundry. But it has come to a point that I have disowned my family. Um, you know, my dad. I have my mom, who I will talk about probably often. She's not my biological mom. She took me in when I was 16 and a barrel of problems, and she's my mom. But my biological family, my father, and all those people connected to that person, and I had to cut myself away from them for various reasons. There are things that I have chosen in my lifestyle and things that I am passionate about that my family didn't quite agree with. I have, I have become part of the BDSM leather lifestyle. I'm a very out kink person. I often am at events teaching people basics and safety. I'm also polyamorous, and my family didn't agree with this. And, they tried to force their beliefs on me. I'm also pagan, it's my religion. And then, I started, as of a few years ago, I had an influx of friends of mine who were transgender or were coming out as gay or bi, and I was just thought, okay, cool, you're that, and I've always been a go with it kind of guy, and I never really stopped to think what they go through, and the being cut off from families. Some families don't react well when you come out to them, some do, and for those that do, I applaud you, and please keep continuing being supportive. It means a lot. No matter what type of lifestyle your child chooses. But people in the LGBT community, they usually end up feeling isolated, especially when they're first coming out. We're just a thing about the suicide of Leela, and that's been a thing. It really got me thinking, when I just realized how my family kind of scoffed at what I did, said, oh, it's just a phase, or it's a fad, or or you're into some weird, freaky stuff, or I think it's sick. Um, you know, oh, that's the next step to being a rapist. Um, and I can't say I completely understand what someone who is gay, bi, trans, lesbian, I, I can't completely understand, but I have an idea because I kind of became isolated from my family. Um, and I didn't feel like I belonged. I didn't feel like I was myself. I've chosen the name, the moniker Draven Kane. It's who I feel I am. And it really came to a point of I didn't feel like I fit in. Eventually, I found the community and all that. I found the fetish community, the kink community, and they welcomed me and accepted me. I'm fortunate enough that me being out as a kinky person is not going to affect my job, is not going to affect anything in my life at all. Some people don't have that liberty, and you have to hide this big secret that you're into these weird things. I don't even identify as, I guess, straight, bi, queer. I more identify, I've come to use the term pan-demisexual. A pansexual person, in a general spectrum, is that, it's not about your gender. Demi is more, I have to have an emotional and mental attraction. And I find as I get older that, and as I start looking and evaluating things, at what's important to me in a relationship, aesthetics don't really weigh as heavy with me as they did when I was younger. I can definitely say at one point in my life I was shallow. I was a kind of I was judgmental. But then I thought about it. It's not my place to judge. And I decided to learn and do research and read and talk to these people that were into these things. And the more I got to learn, one of the things that really shocked me about the community was, even in the LGBT community, I've gone to gay bars, like Bike Stop in Philadelphia, and, that's a known gay bar for the LGBT community, and they love having, usually sometimes when I would go to a munch, in Philly, afterwards we'd all go there, and I had more fun and a great time at a gay bar than I did at straight bars. It was just a more relaxed atmosphere, and everybody's just having a good time. And when I first came in there, when I first time I ever went, I was a little bit nervous. I was still identifying as straight, and I was there was a gay bar that I went to down in Texas. Yes, Texas has gay bars. But I went down there, and I was with a young lady, and we were there to meet some of her friends, and there was a drag show going on, and I would not take my arm or hand off her. I was clinging to her like glue, and the MC of the drag show had noticed my behavior and that I looked like I was nervous. And she told me I looked about as nervous as a cat with a bushy tail in a room full of rocking chairs. And she says, honey, don't, and the drag queen, the MC, said to me, honey, don't worry, there's a 10-foot by 12-foot neon sign flashing over your head that says you're straight. Nobody here is going to try to jump in your pants in the middle of this room. After that, I loosened up, started talking to people, and I had a really great time. Ever since then, I've loved going to gay bars. It's a lot of fun. So, it took me a while to come out to my family that I was kinky. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, damn, I came out to them as something as simple as, I'm a dom and I'm a sadist, and it's got to be rough for someone coming out as gay or trans or lesbian or bi. And this falling out with my family had me thinking, like, wow, if it was that bad for me and it got to that point to where me and my father are no longer speaking, I finally had the guts to stand up to him on Christmas Day because of some situations that happened and something that he should have done and he didn't do. I had finally had enough, and my father has always looked down his nose at me, not just because I was always different, but because of other reasons, but nonetheless, I finally just said, I'm done with you. If you can't accept me as I am, if you can't, if because you don't want me around because you're ashamed of me or whatever, because I'm out about my lifestyle. My cousins asked me about it. They asked me, like, you're poly, you have 2 girlfriends, what is this? And I take them aside away from the little kids and I explain it to them, I answer their questions, no more, no less. And that really got me thinking, like, it's gotta be 10 times worse for someone who's gay, bi, lesbian, trans, it's gotta be, I can't even imagine. Now, the one my mom, that you'll probably hear me talk about throughout my videos on this channel, she's completely supportive. She just loves me and tells me, as long as you're happy, you're not doing anything illegal, and nobody's being harmed, or nobody's being hurt in the bad way, as we joke, she's okay with it. As long as everyone's consenting. That's all that matters to her. She's proud to call me her son, and that means a lot. But the one thing I can say to all the parents out there, if your child chooses to come out to you, before you fly off the handle, you need to think about how your reaction is going to affect them. They're telling you something very serious. And they're telling you something that is very difficult to go through. I mean, a lot of times when I've asked people about their coming out stories, they were terrified, some of them. And the reactions that some of their families had really messed them up. Because, everybody wants their parents' approval. And, I'm also going to be posting this on my Facebook page and my Tumblr. I will say this. Before any of you go and get all preachy on me, and, for any of you that most of my friends are big supporters of LGBT rights and all of that, and same-sex marriage and all of that. I have a few people on my list that are older and a little bit more narrow-minded, that may not be as accepting of my views and opinions, or maybe a little right-wing, but they're still a decent person, so I'm friends with them, but their views and my views don't line up. Just first off, remember this: these are my views. I'm not gonna, if you don't like what I'm talking, you can hit a pause button, you can hit a delete button, you can hit an ignore button, you can block me, whatever. Save your hate mail, because if you send me hate mail, all I'm gonna do is hit you back with snarky responses and piss you off even more. Because I really don't care. I'm exercising my right as an American to express my opinions and put it out there publicly, and use my right as freedom of speech and freedom of speech and freedom of expression. A right in which, I served in the National Guard. I served in the military. So yes, my as much as I've separated from my family did serve. And this is one of the issues I have with them is, you fight for people's right to freedom of expression. You fight for people's rights to be what they want to be. Growing up our whole lives, we're told we can be whatever we want. We can do whatever we want. We can achieve our dreams. Just don't be gay. Don't be different. Be normal. Well, first off, it's not anyone's place to judge. Okay? Nobody came down from the all-high, almighty, the heavens, if you believe in whatever God you believe in. Nobody came down from the presidents and the president said, you have the right to judge people. No, nobody did that. Nobody gave that person that right. And, some people will say, well, why are you protesting, gay marriage, same-sex marriage, whatever you want to call it, why are you protesting this? And it's like, oh, well, I fear for their immortal souls, and I'm just doing the good Christian thing, and I'm trying to save their souls. So you're trying to save their souls by telling them that God hates what they are, and using fear to intimidate them to not be out about what they are, because that's a Christian thing to do. I say to people who preach at me, and I tell them, doesn't your religion believe in tolerance and acceptance and peace? And then they go, well, God says man shouldn't lay with another man. Maybe so, but the other thing that you got to remember is God did, if we go by what that doctrine says, if we go by the general Christian Bible, I'm not going to go and split hairs Protestant Catholic, because we'd be here for a month of Sundays, and I don't have that kind of time. I'm recording this video. I started at about 6:45 in the morning, ish. It's after 7 now. I don't sleep much, but I say to them that the general belief in the Christian doctrine is God gave free will. So and said He would not interfere with the affairs of man. There you go. Wants to sort ourselves out. Not sort everybody else, not you sort everybody else out, you sort yourself out, you live your life according to your beliefs and how your interpretation of your doctrine goes. And I'll live my life according to my beliefs, because it's my free will. I have my right to free will. And if you don't like it, don't talk to me. Go off and be somewhere, but if I'm out in public and I decide that I want to hold hands with a guy, or I want to kiss another guy, or I want to kiss someone that's trans, or I want to hug them, or have lunch with them, that's my choice. And you have no right. Nobody has any right to tell you otherwise. I have known, I've known people that have told me, oh, gays are horrible people, they're the devil, they're transgender, they're evil, they're confused. Trans some of the people that I've met in the LGBT community are some of the most wonderful people that I know, and have some of the most biggest hearts, and are just kind. So, I don't know where you're getting your information. I don't know what people you're hanging out with. But understand this. It doesn't matter what someone's sexuality is, or sexual identity, or preferences, or taste, or things that they're into. That doesn't matter, and it shouldn't matter to you. If you have something in common with that person, that's fine. You're not going to have everything in common. We're all different. So if you come across someone and you're not happy about them being gay or trans or whatever, just remember that they have their choice and it's their free will, and you can either choose to accept that it's their free will to be that and move on, or don't socialize with them, because them being whatever gender or sexuality they choose doesn't affect your ability to earn an income, doesn't affect your ability to breathe, eat, maintain a roof over your head, and provide a life for your children. Oh, well, that's going to poison my child's mind, blah, blah, blah. If your child decides, hey, that looks right because a guy is kissing another guy, or they see, to a child's mind, it's a man in a dress, though that man in a dress is actually portraying themselves as a woman, and that child goes, that sounds right to me, then maybe that child is going to come out that way. Or maybe not. Who knows? It's up to that child as they get older. You can only guide and suggest them. At the end of the day, when they hit that marker of 18 years old, they're an adult. So you can say no, 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 and be hateful and spew hate. Well, now you're teaching your child hate. Now you're teaching your child a negative behavior. And why would you do that? Why would you want to teach your child to be mean to someone because they're different? If I sat there and took several children and put them in a room with people who are transgender, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care if someone was lesbian. They wouldn't care if someone was gay. A child doesn't care. They just see a person, and we need to take a lesson from them. They're going to be like, oh, cool, I like to play dress up too. That's the way a child is probably going to view a trans person. As, oh, you're playing dress up. Because that's a child's mentality. And sometimes people overcomplicate it so much that they just they just overcomplicate it to the point of they start splitting hair. Who cares? If a child doesn't care and it doesn't hurt them, then why should we care? Because the biggest thing, I'm a father. I have sons, and I can tell you right now, if any of my sons turn out to be gay, I will be in full support of them, and I will be just as proud as if they were straight, and I will love them just as much. I just don't I don't like that people discriminate for any reason, whether it be race, creed, religion, sex, sexual orientation, sexual identity, religion, whatever. I don't like it because I don't care. It doesn't affect me. You know, that's your belief. That's fine. Trust me, there are some religions out there that have some really crazy beliefs, and I am going, what? I won't name any because I don't want to get sued. But I can't even fathom the thought of hating someone because of what they believe. I don't care, you know, I may not agree with it, and it may not be right, but if it's not harming somebody, if it's not causing or affecting someone's ability to live, breathe, earn an income, have a general good quality of life, I don't care. I wish more people would think this way. Now, we are seeing a lot more acceptance these days. It is becoming more of a thing. But I will say that there needs to be a lot more. You know, as I said earlier, I've decided to change the tone of this channel. I deleted all the videos previously, all the immature nonsense. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to engage in some of the comedy and hilarity and goofiness that goes on in my life. And I'm still going to do random on-the-spot interviews of funny things. But I think I'm going to take a little bit more serious approach to it. And I mean, I'm still going to be a goofball because I am a goofball, and that's who I am. But, you know, when I started this channel, this was to express my opinion and my thoughts. I do plan to, you know, do some serious interviews and do some serious segments. I have some ideas in mind of some people in state and federal offices that I would like to attempt to get an interview with. And I don't want to drop any names yet because I don't want to get anyone's hopes up and then not get it. And I'm going to be reaching out to, you know, some of the leaders in the LGBT community and, you know, kind of do some roundtable discussions. I've also noticed that YouTube now has this thing where they do Google Hangouts and do a live streaming thing, which is something I'm going to start taking advantage of. And, you know, get out there and, you know, so that way for people that I can't really travel to, if they're across the country, I can still meet them online and have that interview. And even have people that are in the audience come in and, you know, ask questions. And certain celebrities, and I'm going to be covering a lot of topics. Things from, you know, the music I like and the music I listen to, the events that I attend and conventions I go to just doing videos of conducting a poll, to just random on-the-spot interviews, just straight off the cuff. That's always been my best work, is improv, is just like this. This was not rehearsed. I was signing a petition, and I was writing down my reason why I signed the petition, and I decided, like, hey, you know what, I need to do a video, and just some things need to change. You know, new year, I know everybody, new year, new me bullshit, but I just decided that it's 2015, it's been a while, and I've been on a long journey for the past 5-6 years now of becoming a better person, and I decided, hey, you know what, it's time. And I decided to delete that video and, in a sense, delete my past. It'll always be there, and it happened. I can never undo it. But what I can do is move on from it. But the big thing that I can tell you is, love each other. Think before you speak. And live your life. Live your life. And don't worry about everybody else's life. Don't worry about what they're doing in their bedroom, or who's holding whose hand, or who's kissing who, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you, it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't cause you physical pain. Okay? I don't see two guys kissing, and because someone over there didn't like that, falling to the ground in pain and agony and have to be rushed to the hospital. There's never been a reported case of that. No, I swear to God, if ever two guys kissing in an air conditioner or something falls on a spectator's head, I am seriously going to regret this statement. And as I said, you know, I'm going to interject my humor. Do be warned, a lot of the content and material on this channel is going to be very... I would definitely say, you know, mature audiences sort of thing. I mean, it's not gonna... I don't want to say that it's completely NSFW, but some of the topics that I touch on, you know, are going to be about BDSM, are going to be about kink, and if your workplace doesn't want to talk about that, then don't watch my channel at work. I will try as often as possible to avoid cussing and swearing and all of that sort of stuff, and, you know, try to keep this as professional as possible. I mean, sometimes I tend to have a bit of a vulgar mouth on me, and doesn't always benefit me. Just understand that these are my opinions, and I'm just offering them up, and I'm just throwing them out there because this is the stuff that rattles around in my brain, and this is just my method of getting it out there, and, you know, stating and just kind of venting, I guess, you know. And if you don't like what I'm talking about, then listen. Live your life. Enjoy it. Live your life to the fullest. Cherish the moments you have with those you love. Live in the now. I will put this out there, and I hope this gets to him. There's a gentleman that I would love to interview as a street performer, does a lot of performance arts. His name's Matthew Silver. I will post a link to his video. That was another thing that kind of got me thinking, like, wow, this guy just puts himself out there. Well, you know, I think it's time for me just to put myself out there again. And I may even at times decide to do characters and gimmicks. This channel is just really going to be dedicated to whatever it is I'm thinking at the moment, whatever it is that is on my mind and going on in my life, or topics that I just want to talk about. and just my opinion. So I hope you'll enjoy my channel. I hope from here on out that, you know, people will understand that I'm in no way a crusader. I am in no way trying to be some kind of fighter for gay rights or whatever. I'm just really exercising my opinion. The background noise you hear is my roommates. I have roommates. That will probably often happen. I may even ask them to comment on some of the shit I'm talking about. You never know. Just please save your hate mail, because all I'm going to do is agitate you even more. Because you're going to say something to me and I'm just going to poke at you. And because I'm going to see that it's getting you mad. You want to shut me up, you know, the best way to shut me up, don't listen. Hit the ignore button. That's the best way to shut me up. You know, if somebody else is listening to me, that's their choice, not yours. I'll always offer advice. And a quick disclaimer, I'm not a therapist. Granted, yeah, I've had some college level psychology training and whatnot. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I am not a therapist, I'm not a counselor. I am not a licensed professional in any means or shape or form. Anything that I offer as advice is just take my advice for what it's worth. It's just another guy's opinion, and that's it. But until next time, I love you all. Happy New Year. Peace, love, and all of that stuff. And take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Better yet, take care of yourselves. If everyone takes care of themselves, we'll be alright.